We see it in offices, in classrooms, and in creative studios. People are scrutinizing emails and articles, searching for the telltale signs of a machine. A pervasive anxiety exists that using an algorithm to help draft a report or construct a paragraph constitutes an ethical shortcut. However, the definition of an unfair advantage shifts with our tools. These vintage Penguin editions broke the economic gatekeeping of literature. They provide us with access to information previously reserved for the wealthy. That transition in mass printing eventually led to the internet and the ebook. Tools that initially disrupted the status quo of knowledge became normalized, basic human requirements. Yet, while technology successfully flattened the landscape for how we consume information, the ability to produce it, to actually express our own ideas, remains deeply unequal. Right now, sharing a thought on a large scale requires passing through invisible gates. You need an expansive vocabulary, fluency in a dominant language, and a specific academic background just to be heard. This is the articulation gap, the distance between a profound insight and the grammatical mechanics required to express it. We only value their narrow intersection, rewarding execution while dismissing those who think deeply but lack specific formatting tools. A brilliant mind trapped without those expressive tools is effectively silenced. Our current system functions as a biological lottery rather than a true meritocracy. When we look at the physical body, our logic changes. We don't view biological limitations as a moral failing. We use technology to correct them. If someone's eyesight deteriorates due to age or a medical condition, we provide prescribed lenses. We use technology to bridge the gap between a limited body and a functional life. The same principle applies to mobility. A person who loses a limb uses a synthetic replacement to regain their function. We view the mechanical leg as a tool for recovery, not a way to cheat fate. This extends to communication. Stephen Hawking relied on a synthetic voice box and cheek-mounted sensors. He used this technology as a physical prosthetic to liberate his genius mind. We celebrate the machinery that gave Hawking his voice. Logically, a modern digital tool serves the exact same purpose when it acts as a prosthetic for someone's invisible linguistic limitations. Those limitations appear throughout the modern workplace. Many brilliant employees speak English as a second or third language, hitting a glass ceiling because they cannot draft a flawless email. People lose out on promotions and payroll hikes because they struggle to articulate their own value on a yearly appraisal form. They do the work, but they lack the rhetorical flair to describe it. Meanwhile, office hustlers use their command of corporate vocabulary to claim unearned merit, moving ahead of colleagues doing the actual heavy lifting. In this environment, a language model acts as a linguistic prosthetic. It takes a worker's raw, original achievements and structures them into professional prose, removing the unfair advantage of the hustler. Critics worry that automating text will make it impossible to verify originality. They fear a landscape where facts and authorship are easily faked. However, AI can also provide a new layer of scrutiny. When integrated with digital ledgers, algorithms have the ability to map the provenance of a claim back to its primary source and check it against crowdsourced data. As these verification tools become standard, the burden of proof shifts. Instead, trust can be based on a traceable digital trail of evidence, rather than the perceived authority of the writer. This diagram represents a standard in copyright law. If a photograph is altered beyond a 25% threshold, it loses its legal protection. Applying this logic to writing, does originality live in the grammatical scaffolding or the core idea? We already accept editorial assistance from our software. Large language models identify patterns in grammar and context with the same utility as the basic spell checkers we have used for decades. Declaring that you used a digital tool for editorial assistance does not put a shameful tag on your work. As long as the core idea originates with you, the work remains human. History is full of lost potential. Consider what a young Helen Keller might have achieved with access to AI-driven assistive technology early in her life. This technology functions as a bridge. It connects the complexity of internal thought with the rigid requirements of external expression. In the future, individuals can be judged on their initiative, their character, and the strength of their original ideas, rather than the arbitrary limitations of their biology.